Day one of the Osho Dynamic Meditation. So I'm here on a co-live, co-work retreat for 6 weeks, and one of the men here, as part of his training, teacher training, he has to do 21 days of Osho Dynamic Meditation, which is amazing because I've wanted to do 21 days of the practice for a long time, and it just, the right time was never, in place because of other priorities and distractions. So it just worked out perfect. So we just did one. And what's my insight from today? Just the power of witnessing the mind, witnessing what's going on inside, and the focus and awareness that can come from this practice, and to see the patterns. It's like it's a dynamic meditation, and that's exactly what it is. So I only have a few minutes now because I'm now going to practice a morning yoga with the group here, but I want to document this 20 days, 20 days for me, because he actually started yesterday. Let's see what happens. See how many I get through, and I share my insights here. But I feel very open and released, a little tension in my neck from the cathartic breathing, but that will ease off, and more importantly, just to observe and witness the patterns, the cycles, the behaviors inside. It's a great practice for looking in. So there you go. See what unfolds. Yesterday was, day 2 was very interesting. Noticing the pain in my shoulders from day 1. And some resistance in the body. And also, some lack of concentration. And then of course noticing the thought forms, the patterns of thinking. And today, it sort of like weaves in, yesterday and today weaves in, because I'm also in a sort of incubator, you could say, at the moment, of witnessing, as I am always witnessing. But when you do practices like yoga and dynamic meditation, or any of the sort of Osho meditations, what's their purpose? Why do we do them? What's the point? Because they're quite vigorous. They ask a lot, or they ask as much as you want to give. So why do we do them? So his original idea, and I'm not even sure if he did the practices himself, I have no clue, but he created them in this sense of taking you to a state of no mind, and just using that as a metaphor, but like to really quiet the incessant thinking. It's said that he actually created them for Western people, because when he met them, they were so, their thinking minds were just crazy. Monkey mind, it's termed, and whatever other names that may be created for that. So what I'm really noticing in myself is just and this has been happening for a few weeks, and I'm getting a sort of heightened sense of that, of this another ego death. You can call it ego death, or observing the personas, the personas of the doer, the persona of the one that thinks it knows, or the one that thinks it's right, or the one that the judge. And all the work that I've been exploring within the self-inquiry over the years have always been about meditation, and everything else has always been about looking within and observing the thinking and the feelings and the patterns of behavior addictive behaviors, cravings and aversions. So this dynamic, day 3, was really, I was noticing at one point, I was distracted because there were some flies and mosquitoes biting me. And also just noticing the judgments that create seriousness, and then the seriousness that blocks the lightness, the laughter, the ability to just see it all for what it is. And also, I in the little reflection after today's session was about how, the more we observe the faculties of the mind and what's going on inside, you can understand why many of our brothers and sisters are depressed, and many of our brothers and sisters are crazy. Because, on some level, it's my perspective only, I see us all as, in a state of psychosis and neurosis. It's like, it's crazy. Yeah? If you look into the world, there's, of course, it's everything happening. Yeah, and if you don't judge it right, wrong, good or bad, it all just is happening. And at the same time, it's crazy. It's a trip. So it's really observing how, I'm showing up, and how my judgments are, and expectations, again, as always, are just create such a block, such an internal block. So anyway, to keep it there, yesterday was an emotional day full of craziness. But this whole last week, the Osho meditation for me is actually just helping me to witness the insanity, as I said yesterday, about the incessant thinking. That's the more you become the witness, the more that it's highlighted how, the mind wants to constantly make up stories and evaluate everything. So today my takeaways were just that, the story, the situations happen, but the mind makes up a whole heap of stories associated to that. And how today I just wanted to observe. So for example, rather than evaluate and say, because I said to some people yesterday, wow, that was horrible. Yesterday's practice was horrible. It's just noticing all my monkey mind and all the judgments, and it wouldn't stop, and I felt distracted and so on. And today I noticed, the mind, then it's like that craving and aversion. It wants it either good or it's bad, and it's like, today it wants it. Today was a good one. Today was approved of. Today was how it should be. Or I should be feeling like this, and noticing again how subtle that is for the mind just to go into that. Now it should be feeling a certain way. So I wanted to just observe without evaluating. So I observed some tension in my lower back, noticed how my arms just stay up very easily, although they did initially. I've kept them up the whole time, because there's a stage where you have to hold your hands up for 15 minutes. Both, however you stop from doing the ho, you hold your hands up. And just also I noticed today that there was a longer, the thoughts were not so fast. They lingered for a while before they moved on to the next. So, and I feel a lot clearer today, but still noticing, and also noticing the personas of the doer and the one that wants to get stuff done, and how there's another part that wants to just do nothing and trust that what needs to get done will get done. So here's the view that I have when I'm doing the dynamic meditation. But obviously I wear the blindfold. So this is day 5 and 6, because on day 5 I didn't record anything. I really wanted to, and one thing led to another. So yeah, what to share? But one thing's for sure is that the body is feeling a lot stronger. Almost feels like I can hold the hands up in the air instantly. It's as if they want to go there, but it's interesting doing the catharsis without sound, or very little sound, because we're in an enclosed environment where it's very early in the morning and we can't wake anybody up with like real screaming and shouting and laughing out loud. So the catharsis stage is about going manic, being really manic. But that internal mania comes out in the body and through some sounds and, you know, random manic expressions constantly. So that's really insightful to see how, yeah, we can use the body even without necessarily verbalizing everything out there, and how we can move the body. And I'm passionate about that anyway, about movement and breath and sound. What insights can I share? Obviously, just, you know, again, it's like a fast track into observing how we are thinking and thoughts that are going on, and noticing how I get distracted and go off on a train of thoughts around whatever ideas or things I want to say, people I want to speak to, and, you know, and then it's just like just coming back to this present moment is it's just noticing for myself how that's just moment to moment heightening the awareness. That's what this practice is enabling me to do at the moment. So I'm on day 6 today, and there's not, I think maybe how I can, for example, one thing popped up today was a pattern that's arising. Like, I'm in this place right now. It's a creative retreat, and it's also about how, you know, you're sharing your self with the world, and how you're also, you know, a lot of the topics are around goal setting and achieving and, you know, marketing your message. And today I got this sort of stark realization of how in 2012 I was going through some similar stuff that's coming up now around marketing and selling, and this sort of what I call the spiritual rat race that has moved into, you know, sort of self-development and self-actualization and so on in the West and all over the world, really. And really been feeling into staying aligned to my own integrity around the gift economy and the way that I personally want to show up. So it's actually been perfect environment to really trust in my own anchors and navigation system. So that's just come up, but again, that's sort of, it's not really necessarily anything new or any grave insight from the practice. But definitely I'm loving the consistency of daily practice again, of really devoting and dedicating myself to this dynamic meditation and other meditations that I'm just sitting with, basically. So that's it, day 5 and 6 of the dynamic Osho meditation. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, and there was this one moment at the end where some of you know I like to also laugh a lot, and there was this sense of real laughter that wanted to come out, and just laughing at the absurdity of it all, you know, where we are and this mystery, all of the, you know, the consensus realities, the beliefs, all the thought forms that keep whisking past, and just sort of laughing at that, and also feeling privileged and grateful that I can actually laugh. Seems that I feel the laughter's quite a distant sound, real laughter, real joy and appreciation of being alive. So that was a little insight too. So I have a little swim. Thanks for tuning in. Day 7 today, and I was tripping, you could say, on the sea, which is nothing new. I don't know about you, but whenever anything I focus on for a long time, I go deep with, and the sea really has the capacity to do that for me. I just get taken away in the ripples of wonder. So day 7 for me today, and what can I share with you? I'm feeling a little bit of tension in my body, my right hip. And noticing the doer mind was very active today, slightly distracted, but all the things that I could do, people I could speak to, creative ideas that I could birth into the world. But the practice itself is it's just becoming easier and easier, and there was just this real lightness today of celebration, of just appreciation, as always, of life. And I think my greatest insight today is that I just live like this and have done for so many years, that this sort of aware, elevated state is how I live. And it can get, it goes up and down, and as I said to you at the beginning videos, I was in quite a little feedback loop from hell just a few days back, and was in that for about 4 days. But rather than looking at it from a negative or wrong perspective, it's all part of the gift. Just the clarity that life is perspective, and everything that's happening can be looked at as a gift when we don't judge it right or wrong, good or bad. So it's very much, just highlighted that today. And also, again, just looking at this beautiful location that I'm in, and just having a deep sense of appreciation that I can actually, and I am privileged to be able to wake up and be by the sea and shake and dance and free my body and move my body. So regardless of, what I wanted to say was that rather than necessarily searching for more wow, searching for more or trying to uncover something or work something out, just actually just drop all of that. It's what was a reminder to just, it's already here, it's already happening, and just enjoy that, just be with that, just submerge into that, savor that, and open the meridians, if you will, the coherence of that interconnectedness. And for me, like I say, it's not that any of this is really new or some great revelation. It's more just a constant confirmation of surrendering. I think that's what this Osho dynamic is about as well. It's like really, getting out of that overriding, overactive, incessant thinking, doing, trying, wanting, needing, and actually just, it's all here. Welcoming and ease. And of course, that's not easy if you're watching this and you're out there and you're going through dis-ease or some serious physical pain or any sort of emotional, real deep pain. I get it. But of course, in that state, that's a more dense frequency. So the feelings and the thoughts will be more dense. So it won't. This will sound totally, counterintuitive and not possible. But the more that I move my body, the more I shake and dance and open the body, the more I open to the openness, the vastness, the spaciousness. Yeah. Dynamic Osho Meditation, day 7. Thank you for watching. Sending you love wherever you are in this mystery. As the mystery, we are it. Greetings, all of you, to all of those who are watching these little reflections from the 21-day Osho Dynamic Meditation. Today is day 8, and so last night I had diarrhea. Lots of, I felt something moving actually yesterday morning in my stomach, and it didn't feel so great. And then, yeah, last night when I got home after dinner, just loads of diarrhea. So I'm feeling a little bit wiped. And then I just completed the dynamic, and yeah, took care with my belly and brought some energy into that. Did some beautiful breathing at the end because my body was feeling a little bit tight. And yeah, what can I say from today? I'm just feeling very spacious and observing how when your body comes under some little tension or pain, how the incessant thinking speeds up and sort of goes off on its own little world of story. So very aware of that today, noticing some distractions and just practicing coming back to the breath. But at the same time, feeling very like empty, but empty not meaning empty like that's by any means a problem. It's very beautiful. Feeling like a shaken and hoed out a lot of the noise that was lingering around. So that feels beautiful. And not much else. I just two things I want to share is yesterday the man that I'm doing this with, Shahid. At the end I will share a little talk with him for you all. But he said yesterday something about when you're in the mania stage, the manic, or you go manic, often what the idea is that you just go crazy and you're screaming and shouting, and this is beautiful. It's a beautiful release. But if it becomes an act and you're not actually really feeling it and expressing from feeling, then you can just be going through the motions. And the body, as we know, is very quick at adapting and then just being complacent and being okay with where it is. So it's really in that manic stage, really feeling into what you're feeling. Are you feeling joy? Are you feeling anger, frustration, sadness? Try to feel whatever you're feeling, and then allow that to express itself through the manic stage. Really connect to that. If there's tears, let them out. If there's laughter, let it out. As you know, the other thing is we're doing ours in respectful to the people we're living with. So we're not doing the real loud noises. We're doing it all internal. And it's a really new experience for me with this practice. I've done it before where everyone's shouting in the room and there's 20 or 30 people and everyone's going like full on crazy and so on. And the sound carries you, and sometimes you lose your voice. So when I'm now doing it with just 2 people, and I'm actually have my earphones on, blindfold on, of course, and just in that, internal, it's a very interesting experience to really move the body and feel the rage or feel the laughter, but not actually making sound. I think that's all for today. I'm just sitting watching the wonder of what can't be named. whenever I name it, it loses its... Thanks for watching. And also let me know if any of you have been inspired to do the practice. Feel free to share. And then we had a beautiful conversation around, the missing links, a talk or a series that Greg Braden put together all around our history and the infinite potential of where we're heading, where we've been, what we are. And I love that expansive talk into the infinite nature. Very, just seeing how we are all pure energy manifesting itself in so many different forms.
This is our time to rise.